I'm about to tell you something that I genuinely don't know if you're ready to hear, because I wasn't. You have always been the cool girl. I know. I know. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Amongst the Lilies. I'm Malma, or Malmy, your host, and we're going to talk about how you've always been the cool girl. It sounds silly, and you might have even cringed a little bit when I said it. However, I'm going to speak a little bit from personal experience, but also, just to start out, women historically have been the consumers and the trendsetters of families, of just overall culture. We know what is good, we know what is hot. We have been the people setting what is popular with music, with art, with fashion, everything, dude. And even though systemically we're not, like, it's perpetuated that we're not necessarily in power, they are still listening to their consumer base to figure out what to sell, right? But anyway, I got a comment on a recent short that I posted, and it was basically this person talking about how the word whimsy or whimsical is uncool now, cringe now. And I think it's really silly how we commodify words, and it's really just used to sell you things. It's used as SEO data, to figure out who is buying what. That's really what it comes down to. And so that's why it's overused, especially by influencers, because the people that are paying these influencers to sell their products are telling them what terms to use to get higher up, like SEO wise, right? I've been saying whimsy. I will be saying whimsy. It doesn't have to do with a trend. It is just a word that describes a very specific feeling and way of thinking. And there's not really a better word for it, honestly. If you can think of one, let me know. But so this person was going on and on about why. It was literally like a whole paragraph. And they basically said that when things are popularized, they were saying it as like general advice that you just have to find more niche things, um, and like smaller communities. I have met people like this. I was like this at one point, okay? And I'm about to explain it. Do you know what esotericism is? It kind of explains what I'm talking about, but people who strive to be more esoteric usually end up digging themselves into a hole. And it's because as soon as someone likes something, they're suddenly like, oh, I'm not the only one that likes this. That means it's not cool anymore. And they just toss whatever interest they had out the window, which it's funny because what they do usually is when someone likes stuff that a bunch of other people like, Taylor Swift, for example, they're like, you're not a genuine, authentic individual. They say things like that, maybe mentally, maybe they don't say them out loud, but that's what they're thinking. And actually, it's more authentic to say that you like something despite the fact that a lot of other people like this person, artist or whatever, rather than like throw any interest that you have out the window because it got too popular. Like, how is that authentic? It's performative in the opposite direction, basically. So I just think it's silly, and usually it digs them into a hole where they don't have friends that have similar interests. Like, they're not able to find people. Maybe they have like a Discord server with some people, but that's about it. And you just end up isolating yourself. And it's not healthy. It's good to have friends with different interests than you. It's also okay to share interests with people. And here's the other thing. My last video was about Connie Converse. I highly recommend you look her up or watch my video and I talk about her a little bit. But I was listening to her a long time ago. I made a print, an art print about her, and no one knew who she was. No one would buy the print. And I was just like, okay. I mean, I guess she's kind of underground, which, she was niche, but whatever. But part of me really wished that more people would hear her music because it means so much to me. And any chance I got, I would be showing someone her music. And now people know who she is. There's a documentary coming out about her, and people are buying my prints because they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you have a Connie Converse print. And I'm so happy that she's getting the attention she deserves. Any artist that you love, if they're a very small indie artist, do you not want them to become popular? Like, you don't want them to succeed. You just want them to stay small. We we deserve more. We all deserve more. We don't need to stay small. So, it's just such a like self-defeating mindset to get into, and it's actually a good thing that you like something and a bunch of other people also like that thing. It creates community. It creates something to talk about with other people. And yeah, it's cool to like things that no one else knows about because then when you find people, you can share it with them. But also, in the same vein, I think in high school, when you like stuff like that no one else really knows about, no one around you knows about, other people do know about what you like because there are other people in the world that exist. They're gonna know. But when you're in high school, often it ends up being something that you're picked on about. And even with me, there was like an inside joke with my friend group that I should never DJ a party because all of the music I listen to is weird or like out there or whatever, like not normal music, especially for a party. And I was fine with that because I was like, well, if I throw a party at my house, I am DJing and it's going to be all of my favorite songs because I want all of you to hear it. But when it becomes something that you're picked on for, I think then it creates like a complex in your head that because it was once seen as bad to like something that nobody else liked and you were kind of pushed out. Now you see it as a point of pride and you don't want anyone else to like the thing that you like or like ruins it. I had talked to a guy one time who showed me the Velvet Underground and I absolutely fell in love with their music. It's one of my favorite bands. I have a t-shirt that I found that says the Velvet Underground on it. And guess what he said when he saw my shirt? He got mad and he said the Velvet Underground wouldn't have even sold shirts. And I was just like, okay, I don't care. I like the band and it's a cool shirt. Anyway, so music is obviously just like one facet of this, but you have always been the cool girl. What's interesting is as my tastes have developed and I've learned more about myself over time, there is that part of me that questions like, do I just like these things because I'm being influenced to like them? And that is a whole psychological thing that I'm sure there are video essays about on this app. But I was on Tumblr, okay? I was a Tumblr girl. I went back and looked at my old Tumblr, and all of the movies and songs and art that I have found over the years that I love now, I was reposting like very vague niche references to these things, and I had no idea what it was from. I just liked it. I just liked how it looked or how it sounded or whatever, and I would repost it. And now I have found where all of these things are from over time, and I liked them. I liked the whole of what it was, not just like a clip from it or whatever. A really good example of this, highly recommend you watch. It's my favorite movie, and I make all of my friends watch it. Some really like it, some don't. Okay. It is an indie film. It was filmed in Wales. If you like the Arctic Monkeys, Alex Turner, the lead singer, one of his, actually, I think it's his only solo album that he ever wrote. It was like near the beginning of his career, is the soundtrack to this movie, and it's called Submarine. I know it's on multiple platforms. I originally got it on Vudu, but I feel like it's on YouTube now. I don't know, but you can find it. And it is so good. The art style. I found this movie around the time that I had film lecture in college and we were learning about like color symbolism and stuff. There's very basic color symbolism in that. So if you know anything about it, you can kind of nerd out about it to your friends. There's a lot of like blue, yellow, and red and beige. They mean things. Okay. And the soundtrack is so good. You've probably I had heard the soundtrack because I liked Alex Turner before I ever saw the movie, and you probably have too. One fun fact about that is if you watch through the credits, it says that Michael Cera was on set. I don't know what his role was, but he was just like there, I think. And that was one of the movies that there were clips of all over Tumblr, and I would reblog and I had no idea what it was from, but now it's my favorite movie. Is It's like a coming of age film about a boy who is he wants his life to feel like a film, and he makes a lot of film references within the movie, which is fun, especially if you're already nerding out about like the color symbolism. And he falls in love, okay, with this girl who's kind of mean. I I would say every character in that movie is insufferable in their own way, but I love them all. My favorite character is actually the dad, but you have to watch it to figure out why, to guess why. Because you might hate him. I don't know. But it is so funny. If you watch it, I would recommend having closed captions on just because they do have accents. And the first time I watched it, I had to turn them on because I just couldn't quite understand what they were saying. And they use some lingo that like I don't use in America. So anyway, that's an example. Like there are pieces of the things that you love now in your past because something led you to those things. And whether you were picked on for them or not, you had interests. You have things that you like. And no one has the same exact combination of things that you have experienced and loved and felt passionate about or wanted to share with other people. Nobody is going to have the same combination of stuff. And that's cool. That's cool. I also made one of the first zines that I ever made. It's not available anywhere. It's just one that I made with like crayons, literally. I might make a version of this someday because I loved it. But it was a collection of just moments that I had with other women growing up where like moments that just make you go, I love being a girl. If you're watching this and you're not a woman, I hope that you can still understand some of this. At band camp, I was in band, I played trumpet. The first time I ever saw a girl with pink hair, I freaked out. I was I was scared of her because like I was just intimidated. And she was one of the captains at band camp. And before one of our dances, because we'd have like 3 dances during the week, I think it was like casual, costume, and then formal. Band camp was so fun. I would go back now. I love those memories. But she had any girls that wanted to come down to the lobby of the dorms, and she was curling people's hair, she was doing our makeup, she was putting like glitter on people, and she had a pink curling wand and her pink hair, and she curled my hair for me. And it was the most magical experience. And I just, I don't know. I was like, I'm gonna have pink hair someday. And I'm gonna curl my hair like her. And I just thought she was so cool. And now I'm like, oh, I'm cool. 'Cause I mean, yeah, dude. My past self would think I am so cool now. And it's because I always had that in me. I didn't change like entirely. I knew who I wanted to be, And why would I not be who I want to be? You know? Anyway, another one was hanging out with two of my friends. They were sisters at their grandma's house. And we got out acrylic paint and we were just like painting our bodies. Like I painted a huge flower with vines and stuff wrapping around my friend's leg. I don't know. That's such a core memory for me of girlhood. I also just watched a documentary. It wasn't really a documentary. It was like a short, it felt documentary style, but it was just about the girls' bathroom. My friend Annie sent it to me. It was just talking about like the camaraderie in the girls' bathroom and how anything goes. You never know what's gonna happen, but we just all have this kind of unsaid mutual understanding. And I think that's beautiful. Like, we are all cool. If we're all able to, hype each other up in the bathroom or like admire another person, if you feel jealous of a woman, I think you need to re-examine that a little bit because you might just want something that they have. And you should take that as inspiration, not a threat. Another thing that I think definitely needs to be said is that not feeling like you're the cool girl has misogynistic roots. Women are not supposed to be funny. We're not even supposed to be a trendsetter. That's like, it's a very real, like solid fact that we are, but it's not praised, if that makes sense. We're seen as the people that spend all of our husband's money or whatever. Someone has to buy things, right? Like, someone has to be stimulating the economy. It's kind of shamed. And usually, if women do push something out into popularity, it's not said that it was us. It's kind of like hijacked by a man. Like the music, for example, every man I've met that had a good taste in music, they would act like they discovered it all on their own, and then I would find out later that it was their ex who was a woman that showed them the music. And then they start to hate you when you like it too. It's really funny. Yeah. You have always been the cool girl because you're you. Nobody can take that away from you. Also, realizing that you're the cool girl offers you so much freedom because if you're already cool and you believe that about yourself, you don't have to be chasing trends. You don't need to be constantly trying to do what is popular because you decide what is popular. And if you're like me, what I've learned is that on a lot of things, I'll find something I like and it's not like the thing at the time. And then a few years later, it is. And I'm still doing it. And so people think I'm cool, but it's the thing I've been doing this whole time. And I keep doing it even after said trend fades. And it is unequivocally me. And people see that. They see that I'm doing what I want confidently, and they see me as cool. It's simple. It's evergreen. You don't have to be chasing all of these trends. There's like, what is it? There are more fashion seasons in a year than there are weeks in a year. That's insane. That's unsustainable. And that's lame. Like, find your own style, curate your own style. If it meshes with other people's style, great. That's fine. It doesn't change that you're you. And hyperfixating on that, like one way or the other, either trying to stay on trend or trying to stay away from all of the trends to the point where you're throwing stuff out that you like, is just not, it's a miserable way to live, dude. Don't do that. Be yourself confidently, wear your clothes, don't let them wear you, and live your life. And people see that and they see it as beautiful. They admire that. It's like one of the biggest strengths you can ever have. Trendsetters don't chase things, they do what they like loudly. strongly and confidently. You've always been the cool girl, so stop acting like you're not. If this is our first time meeting, my name is Malmy. You're watching Amongst the Lilies. I am an artist. I have prints, stickers, accessories, etc. on my shop, shopmalma.com. I also run a mail club called Malmy's Cozy Mail Club. And it's only $5 a month, and you get a cute postcard from me, a little sticker, and a side quest. If you want, for $10 a month, I can actually send you 2 postcards. If you would like, you can include a second address, and I will send it to whatever friend or family member you like. You can also follow me on TikTok or Instagram at xomalma. I do something on most of my content that I will now be doing here, which is letting you know that you can get off of here. You can. You don't have to. But I'm inviting you right now. If you have things that you're putting off, if you feel like you haven't been very present lately, if you feel like time is flying by because you're looking at a screen most of the time, this is a great opportunity for you to put the phone down for a little while. Set a timer even if you have to, 20 minutes, and go do something away from your phone. Just be present for a little while. We get really trapped in this thing. I like my content to remind you that you have a real and beautiful life outside of this little box. So, that being said, go live it. I love you. Get off of your phone. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.